So this is like my signature poem. This is anything that I can leave anyone with anytime I perform. This is it. This poem is not being written for the self-righteous preacher. It's not being written for the malevolent hater either. This poem is being written for the seeker. Love flows effortlessly from heart to mind to pen and out of mouths again, like prayers that are thrown upon the wind by the desperate men, women, and children that sing them. We are soul poets, and we write poetry with no regard for how it might be criticized, judged, or critiqued. We are blessed with an undeniable need to speak, and so we write and recite and write and recite and write and recite, and we do it with passion every time because we realize that our words are important, because we realize that complacent drugs are potent and our muses contain the medicine of true healers. We are soul poets, seers, seekers, revealers, and believers. Our benevolence bleeds, feeding the needs of hopeless romantics, suffocating addicts, and heart song fanatics. Needs that cannot be met by the mind of a misguided mute, too busy polishing the horn that they buoyantly toot to realize the weight that their ego leaves for the true of heart to carry. But don't worry, soul poets are strong, and we bury that beef in less time than it takes to cook it, and victory tastes damn good when we eat it. Soul poets are hungry, you better believe it. We are not worried and are barely even fazed by the weak blows of judgmental idiots boasting their knowledge of prose and literary poetics. Please, those insults are nothing more than pathetic to a soul poet. But don't get me wrong, all soul poets long to be respected in literary realms. We respect this art and want nothing more than a perfect score, but approval is not what we do this for. This is not a contest to see who can suffer the most. This is not a contest to see who can better boast. This is poetry, simple and divine, and it pours light out of us with every line, and we feel more complete and connected every time that we share. So there, Mr., Mrs., Big Head, we do not care what you have to say about it or if you even like it, because for every naysayer and hater out there, there are millions of people that are about it, and at least a million more who truly need it. And that is why we write it, read it, and bleed it. And that is how you know it, when you see it, hear it, and feel it was written by a soul poet. And that is where it starts and finishes. Poetry would be worthless if the presence of soul diminishes, so we may not construct eloquent metaphors or punctuate quite right, but when we take to pen and paper night after sleepless night, we release more than any complex collection of words could ever explain. For we are soul poets, and for that, no one should ever complain. Awesome. Thank you for listening, guys. So, are you guys like ready?